Hi, we are going to do a power yoga class together today, and if you are unfamiliar with power yoga, it is one of various forms of a vinyasa flow. It will depend on the instructor, but one thing is for certain, it focuses on strength and bringing the power. So I feel like if you've been cooped up in the house a lot, all of us are going to end up looking like shredded Greek gods and goddesses after this quarantine. We know that health is the number one thing, so what I would invite you to do is to promise yourself that this is not about proving anything to yourself or anyone else. If your body sends you signals and something is uncomfortable, or your body is just not ready for it, it's okay. You can try another day or back it up to a place where your body is. For those who might say that power yoga has nothing to do with yoga, because we talk about the relationship between the body and the mind, they absolutely are interconnected, and strength and endurance and taking care of those beautiful hearts in our chests are just as important as the mental and spiritual component. So you can choose to decide whether these are just exercises to you or if it is mindful movement, and that is what is the determining factor between just an exercise and yoga. So I invite you to grab a mat if you have one. I may throw mine out after a while because I'm on carpet. I'm used to teaching power yoga classes or variations of them with high intensity intervals thrown in sometimes in warmer settings. So if it's not hot enough, you're either going to bring the heat or you can crank the thermostat. Okay, so let's go ahead and warm up, because no matter what you're doing, yoga, running, boot camp, Zumba, it is important to warm up sometimes so that our bodies are prepared to do what we're asking of them. So if I am beginning in a stand, first I might start with the basics. Think about your breath. So big breath in and exhale, let it out. We know that our breath has everything to do with the quality of our movement, so we're going to pair our breath with the movement instead of just moving through or holding our breath in planks and such. Okay, so again, when you breathe, the belly and the chest lift. Sinking it back, and also establishing that core awareness, which is so important. It's not about six-pack abs. It's about core health and function throughout the entire body. Our arms and our legs are connected to the center, never the other way around. So we might start by bringing an ear to the shoulder. Big breath in. And an exhale after you feel that stretch. Let's bring it towards the other side. You're like, hey, this is pretty easy. Let's go ahead and do it again. And exhale, bring it back in. At this point, you might choose to create an intention for yourself. While it is tradition in yoga to set an intention, it's another way to say, set a goal to keep ourselves honest, so that when we feel like we aren't doing our best within our limits, we can keep that goal in mind and keep ourselves where we need to be. We're going to tuck the chin in now, so aligning that cervical spine, and I'm going to bring it down. Big breath in. Open up that ear towards the shoulder, half head roll all the way up. On an exhale, you're going to reverse to the other side. Big breath in. And exhale again. And I'm going to bring it back towards center now. I'm going to roll through the shoulders, breathing forward, up, pinch those blades back, exhale everything down. You might even bend the knees a little bit if you want, breathing in. Exhale, nice scapular control, exhale everything down. And again. And exhale everything down. Let's go the opposite side, or direction rather. So wings together, up, soften it forward. You're welcome to do this as many times as you need. And exhale down. Taking it back towards center, wherever that is for you. Some will be standing, some are seated. I'm going to find my mountain pose, another way to say conscious posture. I don't just stand around in space, I'm aware of how I stand around in my space. So from the bottoms of my feet all the way up through my head, I am intentionally supporting my weight while being relaxed at the same time. Arches are lifted, all of the toes are planted, especially the big toe. Can you wiggle the big toe? We're going to do toe yoga now. Okay, so maintaining that strength. If you are on carpet and or mat like me, this might be a little bit more challenging, but we find what we can do with what we've got. I'm going to take those hands out towards the sides. On a breath in, I'm going to lift up, and those hands will connect overhead. And I'm going to exhale and sink it down into a chair or a yoga squat. I'm going to press through those palms, breathe it up, send it up, send it up, send it up. On an exhale, my heels are going to connect. I'm going to hinge at the hips. Exhale down, swan dive down for a moment and let the head hang out. Shake everything out. If you have any stress today, imagine it's just pouring out onto the floor. We'll clean it up later. Now your legs are nice and strong here while you feel the stretch in the back. Allow your neck and head to relax. Shake it out. Another breath in, we're going to come up into our flat back. And if your ears are up here, you're going to scooch them back. And from here, I'm going to sink it down into my chair again. Breathing it all the way up. And exhale down. Some of you might have those feet together or apart, depending on what your yoga squat, your chair looks like. Exhaling out, sink it back down. Using all parts of the glutes. On the next one, we're going to bounce a little bit, and that little bounce you feel right here, the glutes grabbing you in, that's what we want to use in our chair. Never rounding over like this, okay? So now we're going to come all the way up, and exhale, dive back down, hinge, hinge, hinge. Now stretching the back, now the head and neck relax, let it go. If you have a ragdoll in your practice, you are welcome to use that here. You might wrap around at the elbows, swaying side to side, and making this a mindful movement too. Feeling the weight distribute through one part of your foot and up through the leg. As you breathe out, it transfers towards the other side. When you are ready on a breath in, we'll start to come up into that flat back again. Nice and strong, active legs, you feel everything. Let's go ahead and sink it down into your version of a chair and bring it up on the toes. Lift, 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 and exhale towards the other side. And breathing, warming up through the feet, the ankles. You'll feel it up through the side of your leg. And you are welcome to bring it up onto both feet or one at a time again. Okay? 1 foot at a time again. I can't speak English again. We're going to take it all the way up. And exhale, swan dive all the way down. From here, I'm going to look up, stepping or hopping into a plank. And making sure that you are a true plank. I adjusted myself there as well. Never arcing or sagging, right? A plank is one linear line. If not, drop the knees and press away. Bring in that tummy as if I saran wrapped it. We're going to do what we need instead of what is easier. So you are in your plank. If you have a chaturanga to upward dog or cobra, you are welcome to do that. Unbending those elbows, keeping it close, scooping that imaginary ice cream up off the floor. There is technically space underneath you. You look like a happy little mermaid here. Okay? Shoulders are on the outsides of those ears. We're going to tilt it into downward dog. Downward dog will look different depending on the day and body. So sometimes my heels are going to come off the floor, but I maintain that strength through the arms, head bowing, chest towards the thighs. Let's pedal out the legs to warm up before we start static holds. So I might breathe in, left knee towards the chin, and my right heel pushes back. As I exhale, I'm going to switch, allowing the hips to move. Let's bring it up on the toes and tailbone up and back. Arms nice and strong. I'm going to bring my heels over towards the right and press away from the floor with those hands. switching. Coming back towards center. I'm going to launch one leg up, float, 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 and I'm slipping a little bit with my carpet, but you can adjust as needed. Now you can do this on your knee here if you like, okay? But we're not going to stay here long. Rounding in the ankle and floating it back down. Let's give some love to the other side. I will move directions so that you can see on a breath in. Rounding in the ankle and then floating it back down. We're going to bend in the knees and come to our tabletop now. Making sure I'm in frame. We're going to warm up a little bit more through our cat-cow. I enjoy tucking the toes. I'm always looking for opportunities to stretch through those feet. You are welcome to flatten out the tops of the feet if you like. Hands on the floor or your blocks. Pressing through, pressing through. There are imaginary hooks on those shoulder blades. Coming up towards the ceiling and softening, coming through. Chest forward, shoulders back. Crown of the head towards your tailbone. On your breath, you switch. And as you continue through this universal spine mobilizer, don't take it for granted, right? We aren't twerking here. We are thinking about that pressure through the palms, stretching in the upper back. When we come through, you might even feel that stretch through the abs and your chest and your neck. The difference between just doing an exercise and feeling it. Now I'm going to come back to tabletop, and for example, my left knee will come in towards the chin on a breath in. On the exhale, I'm going to start turning it out and lengthen, almost as if I am hydrating a fire hydrant. Big breath in, turn it out, exhale, lengthen. And again. Turn it out, exhale, lengthen. You are welcome to round in the ankle with it if you like. We'll do about 5 per side. Are your arms still nice and strong? What is your core doing here? Okay, so I'm going to hold it out now. And you'll have the option to launch the opposite hand up into bird dog. You are welcome to stay here with both hands down if that's more comfortable for you. So launching that arm up. I will turn this way so there's more space and we can see. Lunge, opposite arm, opposite leg, and from here, pressing through that palm, not crashing into the shoulder, I'm going to crunch it in. Big breath in, knee towards the chin, and exhale out. And again. Are you still breathing? And exhale. Whoop. You'll do about 5 on this side. Unless you're feeling fancy, you're welcome to do more. And you will hold, 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 hold. This is awesome for those stabilizer muscles in the back. Are your hips square to the floor? Shoulders strong, look forward. It's very different than holding it up here. Nice and strong. Now we're going to float that knee down and open up the wing towards the ceiling. Get a nice stretch. We're going to thread the needle, but not before we reach through for 3 times. So I'm going to, on my second time, open up. Big breath. Open, open, open. Look at the ceiling. Get that stretch through your side. Exhale. Reach, reach, reach. Give yourself a hug. Open, 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 open. And when you are ready, threading the needle, however is comfortable for you. Coming through. Some will stay here. Use blocks as needed. Or all the way down. Half binds are an option. And when you get breaks, take them. Don't think about what you're doing later. How is your breathing here? When you are ready, let's go ahead and unwind from that bind, planting through the floor. Unthread the needle. You are welcome to stay here, or that leg on the side of that arm closest to the ceiling. Does it want to lift and step behind you? modified wild thing. So one knee is planted and one hand is planted. My shoulders are stacked. My other fingers are reaching actively towards the ceiling. The other leg is extended. It looks like a supported side plank. And you get that nice stretch and bring it back without falling over. When you are ready, use that core to rotate back towards center. We are going to give some love to the other side now. So the leg that you did not use yet is going to breathe in towards the chin. Open it up as you hold. Exhale, lengthen. The muscles in your face are relaxed. You're saving the energy for where it's needed. Right? It's like if you enjoy running, I do too. If you gas out right away, there's no point. We'll never make it to the destination. So hold it out and decide what kind of bird dog do you have on this side. Do you want to float that arm up? Concentrate. Breathe. Pressing through the palm, lifting out of that shoulder. Fingertips away from those toes. Is your core nice and strong towards the spine, or is it dipping towards the floor? Bring it back in. We're going to take it in for 5 here when you are ready. You're welcome to take a break whenever needed. You're welcome to do more if that's what your body needs. And I was too excited, lost track. You'll do about 5 or 6 there. When you are ready, hold, hold, hold. And we're going to take it into our threaded needle on this side. So float that knee down. Both knees are on the floor again. Open up, chest towards the ceiling. Chest towards the ceiling. Breathe. Exhale, stretch those fingertips. Reach through. Reach, reach, reach. Give yourself a hug on the breath in. Press up and away. Enjoy the movement. Don't just do it. And exhale through. And you prepare for your third because you know this is the resting point and it feels fabulous because you said so. And find where you need to be for your threaded needle. We are looking for a stretch in the shoulders and then in the side. Half bind is an option. It means you don't have to take it. Allow yourself the permission to melt on demand, no matter how short a break is. Allow yourself to get what you can potentially from it. Full active breaths. Allow the chest and the belly to rise. Shoulders are relaxed. When you are ready to come back up, plant that hand back down. Press through the floor. Start to rotate back up towards that ceiling. Do you have a modified wild thing on this side? Whoop, step that leg behind you, launching the chest and fingertips up. When you are ready, we'll take it back towards center, into your tabletop and press through your cat-cows. Really enjoying the stretch here, leaning it side to side if you want. Stretching it out, stretching it out. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring it into fire toes. So you can kneel. You can also grab a pillow or blanket and put it underneath you if that helps. Blocks are always welcome. Putting a block in between the legs and sitting up on that can be helpful as well. So as I sit here, stretching out in the feet, lifting up untilted hips, I'm going to breathe all the way up. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And exhale, stretch. Taking that time to unwind and breathe it up. And exhale down. Now I'm going to roll these, I almost said ankles, in the wrists, rounding, grounding. You will continue to do that. I'm going to check this here. Camera, there we go. Awesome. Eventually bring it all the way up, and I'm going to allow those hands to connect. I might even water pistol it at the ceiling, or palms up, get that stretch up and over into your crescent shapes. On a breath in, as if a string is dragging me up through that core, up and over. And I'm going to bring it back towards center and stretch those fingers out. And now, coming up onto those knees, if comfortable, you can do whatever you need with the feet. I'm going to fold those fingers towards my forearm. Big breath in. And exhale, close it back up. On a breath in, I'm going to switch towards the other side. And exhale. I'm going to take it back towards the floor using that core strength and hinging forward. Hinge, 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 hinge. And now I'm going to walk it into my puppy dog pose. So hips stacked over the knees like you're playing with a puppy. And your forehead might reach the mat or a block. Bending in the elbows if comfortable, getting that stretch in the upper arms. When you are ready, on another in-breath, go ahead and plant those hands back down. Find your child's pose for a moment. Get that nice stretch in the back. Knees can be together or apart. And on a breath in, we'll take it back into your tabletop. From your tabletop, I'm going to extend that leg again. A leg of your choosing, whichever you like. We're going to pulse it up. So getting that heart rate up a little bit more, cleansing the blood, cleansing anything you don't want in the body is very helpful. And we know that getting our heart rate up there, even for short periods of time, is very beneficial to our health. So I'm going to extend that leg. Find your bird dog with both of those arms on the floor. Nice and strong. And when you are ready, we're going to pulse it for 30 seconds if you can, or just pulse it for as many as you want during the time we are together. Ready? You've done harder things in your life. Core tucked in. You got it. Let's go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Hold it up there. Hold. Point the toes away. Arms are nice and strong. You're not caving here. Hold. That was the fastest 30 seconds ever. It's okay, doggy. You want to come get down, dog? Go ahead, dog. Go ahead. Get down. Rotate, rotate, rotate. I'm going to turn the leg out. Now it's perpendicular to me. I'm going to plant that leg down. I'll show you what this looks like facing you. And I'm going to bring it side to side. Nice stretch, nice stretch. Breathing. Is there space underneath the arch? Can I slide a card underneath it? So we're not banana footing it. We're not rolling in here. And I'm going to come back towards center. And nice and strong. I'm going to come all the way up, all the way up. And rotating through that shoulder all the way up and over. And when you're ready, as if there's a string guiding you back up, link through those beautiful abs. Take it up and over towards the other side. Stay here, a block, or the floor. And if there are any noises in the background, like there are by me right now, they're nothing but a thing. It happens, right? So I'm going to lift all the way back up and exhale down. Let's go ahead and pulse it on the other side. So get ready. You'll either do a fast 30 with me or a slow 30 seconds, whichever works for you. Find your strength in tabletop first. Our foundations are more important than bells and whistles. But from here, then extend that leg. Find your strength. Become aware of your core, and your palms and fingertips are completely engaged here. Don't forget to breathe. Ready? Let's go. (19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. You can keep going if you're feeling magical today. You're holding those toes up when you are done. Rotating the ankle nice and strong. You feel it in those fabulous glutes, which help you walk too. Let's turn it out. Rotate through. Woo, gonna get a Charlie horse there. Plant that foot down, and now get that nice stretch, leaning side to side. Enjoying this reward. When you are ready, you come back towards center, and using that core, you arc all the way up. Okay, and as you remember, I'm going to round through that beautiful shoulder, up and over, and you find a reason to be grateful for whatever shoulder mobility you have today. Because when we don't have it, that's when we realize how important those shoulders are. Up, 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 and then over if you like. From here, I'm going to rotate back towards the floor and bring it into downward dog. Find your downward dog however you need. If you want to pedal out those legs again, take a moment to find where your body is agreeing with you today. I'm going to launch a single leg up. Remember, we can do three-legged downward dog with one knee on the floor and lift. It's just rounding the ankle, bending the knee. Modified or fold wild thing, okay? So, if you chose a three-legged downward dog, because they need love too, you launch the leg up. Rotate in that ankle both directions, bend in the knee, epic stretch in those quads. Now, if you like, you can stop here, or rotate back, let that foot fall. Full wild thing. I've got a wall stopping me. Do what you can. Okay, and using the core, rotate back towards center. Let's give some love to the other side. Find your foundation in downward dog. Then you decide, does the other leg want to float up on your breath? Your heel might be connected or not. I'm going to step over so I can stay in frame. Bending in the knee when you are ready. Deciding if you have a full or modified wild thing. And enjoying this time wherever you are. We're going to take it back towards center, downward dog. Let's step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. However you get there doesn't matter, just safe. Allow everything to relax. You are welcome to bend the knee slightly if that's more comfortable. When you are ready, let's start to roll it up. Roll it up, roll it up, roll it up. Those hands will come up overhead with you. Exhale, press through the palms. Shoulders relax, faces relax. Find your mountain pose on demand. Bring the breathing back to baseline if it is elevated. You're like, it feels so nice to stand on top of this mountain. You need to round through those shoulders again and reestablish your posture. You can. I like to roll those toes under. So, when you are ready, we're going to take it up on the toes. Breathe it up. And exhale, sink it into your chair. On a breath up, you will exhale, reach and sink it down into your chair. On a breath in, bring it up. And exhale, sink it down into your chair. And this time, launch it up, and we will swan dive down. And really make it active. Find the stretch for a moment. Take it into your flat back. We're going to walk it to the mat. into our plank. Find your best plank, right? There's no point in cheating ourselves, sagging or arcing. That is not a plank. In fact, that might mean you could really afford to strengthen that core. So bend the knees if that's what you need. We have walls and furniture at home. You can absolutely practice planks on a wall. Just find that strength. You're still holding here. I know. Teachers get to take a break. Holding your plank. We're going to do 10 more seconds together. Have you done harder things in your life? Yes, let's do it. 10, 9, 8, press through the floor. 7, breathe. 6, 5, 4, good job. 3, 2, what comes before 2? 1, chaturanga to upward dog or cobra if you have it. And from here, tilting it to downward dog. Get down, dog. From here, I'm going to launch a single leg up. For me, it's my left. I'm going to bring that knee through the body and find a nice deep lunge. You can find your crescent lunge if you have one coming through. Trying to stabilize on this here carpet. I'm up on the toes in the back. Take a look to make sure that that back ankle is above the toes, not off to the side or the opposite direction. So when you find your foundation, decide if those arms are coming up. This feels fabulous. What are the front toes doing? And your core is nice and strong. Untilt into hips. And your shoulders might be way up here. Depress them back down. From here, we are going to hinge forward, and take it back up. Lengthen, and exhale. And do the same thing one more time. And exhale. From here, I'm going to take a hand towards the floor or on a block on the inside of that foot on the knee that is bent. The other hand is reaching towards the ceiling. So if my left leg is bent and is in front, my right hand is on the floor right now. I'm going to stack the shoulders and look up. If you feel like you can't do that, that's a sign to come up off the floor. Use a block or even the knee. Half bind is an option here. And from where you are, if you have a floating moon, you can incorporate that now. So I might rotate back towards the floor, keep that knee bent. Inch that foot up if you like. See if you want to lengthen. And stack those shoulders again. Every day is different. It's okay if you're shaky. Some of you will float here. Today I'm not feeling it. So, you can use a block underneath that hand if you like. Breathe. And from here, we're going to take it back towards the floor, bend the knee, step or hop it into your plank. When you are ready, we're going to count back from 10 in our plank. Chaturanga to upward dog or cobra. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. You are so beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5, 6, 7, 9, 10. 1. Let's do it. Woo, that one was sloppy. And when you're ready, tilt it back. And enjoy that stretch, enjoy it. When you are ready, we're going to take the other leg up. Bring it through the body. Find your stability, even if it's on carpet. I'm pretending it's sand. I'm saying this is going to be so great for my ankle strength. Okay? So I become aware of what my hips are doing, what my core is doing. Then I find that added length. And when you are ready, hinge and dive down. You feel everything through that front leg and your side. Come back up. Are you breathing. You can lengthen the leg in between. And on about your third is when you will choose to come down. Opposite arm will touch down on the inside of the foot or on a block. Rotate the other wing up, stack those shoulders, flaring those fingers up. A half bind is an option here. Breathe. When you are ready, decide if that other hand, my right hand is on the inside of the foot now. I'm going to launch that leg up almost like a modified warrior 3. Rotate the hips to stack them, stacking with those shoulders. Stack, stack, stack. And so this feels like my limit today. There will be days you feel like you have more balance. There will be days you feel stronger than others. There will be days you float it up, right? Today is not my day for that. It might be for you. But you are doing what you can, and well, your body knows effort. So when you are ready, bring those shoulders to face the floor again. Bend the knee, step or hop into your plank, chaturanga, upward dog, or cobra. And exhale, bend the knees into your child's pose. Knees can be together or apart. Take this time to melt on demand. Your fingertips are relaxed. Your arms are relaxed. Your shoulders and back, through your glutes and your legs and your toes are relaxed. Let's walk those fingertips over towards one corner of the mat. Take a big breath in, stretch, and on a breath out, allow yourself to just melt. Walking those fingertips over towards the other corner of the mat. Big breath in, stretch actively, and on a breath out, melt. Starting to come back towards center. Slide it forward into your puppy dog pose. Remember, it looks like child's pose with your hips stacked over the knees. Tail wagging in the air. Bend in the elbows if it's comfortable. Save your energy because we are going to start doing some work again. I'm going to pull this back a bit. So from this point, you are in your puppy dog pose, modifying as needed. I'm going to pull those forearms closer to me. I'm going to get that hair out of the way. I made a little triangle with my hands so that I make a little base, almost like you're getting ready for a headstand, but it's not what we're going to do. We'll bring it into dolphin pose, which looks like downward dog, but with the forearms down. I'm going to launch those hips up and behind me. You can bend the knees. It's common in this pose. You can pedal out those legs. Feels really great. Are you sitting in the shoulders? Actively press away through those forearms and your hands. Now you are welcome to stay here, or if you are physically able to press it up into downward dog, you can do that. We are going to do that 6 times. So if you've ever taken a boot camp class, this is one way to invite that into our yoga practice. We're going to go ahead and take it down. Dolphin. Press it up. Downward dog. That's 1. Take it down. Dolphin. Press it up. Downward dog. 2. Take it down. Dolphin. Press it up. Downward dog. 3. Take it down, dolphin. Press it up nice and strong, downward dog. 4. Just 2 more. Bending the knees as needed. You do not want to feel pain in the back. You have 2 legs, but only 1 spine. We're going to start to look up, and we're going to step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. However you get there is fine. And you will hang out here in your ragdoll and just listen to my voice. But for now, just sway. Allow the head and neck to relax here. Let's go ahead and take those hands up and behind us, almost like rabbit ears. And if you are comfortable, you are welcome to roll it back up to your mountain pose from here. If not, let go of those hands and then come up. Reaching up, reaching up. And exhale. Find your peace on demand. Roll those shoulders if you need to. From here, coming up on the toes again. Breathing up and reach, reach, reach like you mean it. Exhale, sink it down into your chair. Breathing up. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, stretch those hands and those arms out. Now sink it down into your chair. Coming up. From here, I'm going to sink it down into one last chair and use that to launch into a warrior 1. So for me, my right knee is in front. You're welcome to do whatever you like. But those hips are in direction of the knee and the toes in the front. Notice the space underneath my arch here. Even if you have medium to lower arches, just make sure that knee doesn't roll in. Same thing on the back. Now from here, I'm going to let those arms come down, and that back leg, the knee's going to come with me as I sneak in some balance. Oops. And now open it up into warrior 2. If you were standing against a wall with your warrior 2, and I have one here, how would that change your stance? So stretching out of those hands, shoulders back in a line with those hips, that knee is not falling forward. Are you using muscle memory here, or are you actively engaging, right? So difference between just doing something and getting something out of it. On a breath in, we're going to deepen the lunge if there's no pain in that knee. Big breath in, exhale, lengthen, squeeze the muscles in that leg. I like to make this the matrix pose. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. On our third, we're going to take it back. Now here's the real matrix, right? Take it back. Reverse warrior, dodge the bullet. There's no weight in the back knee. Test yourself by bringing those hands up. Your strength comes through your legs and your core. Let's cartwheel those hands forward. Hand on the knee, elbow, or hand on the inside of the foot. Blocks are epic here. Now your shoulders are stacked and you are pressing actively away from the floor, not crunching into it. So are you getting what you need out of your power yoga, or are you just kind of doing it, right? Let's go ahead and bend at the elbow, half bind if you have one. Now if you have a full bind here, you are welcome to do that, but you will know because you have a perfect, almost perfect 90-degree angle in that knee. See the strength of my leg here? This is going to let me know if that other hand wants to slip through. If it wants to slip through and meet the other hand, you might have yourself a full bind here, but it never looks like facing the floor. Use a band or belt to create that connection if you need, or say no thanks. If you have a bird of paradise at this point, you are welcome to incorporate that. You might say, not sure, do I want to inch that leg up? Come up on the toes, coming up, and decide if you have bird of paradise in your practice today. So let's see what my body's doing. I might take it up here and then fall over. Okay, another thing you can do if you're taking a break, we're at home, we can do whatever we want here. You might start your bird of paradise with a chair. See if that hand's going to come between. Find that length and never sink in the hip. Coming up, coming up. See? I just needed some love. All right, and if it doesn't work, it's okay. You say no thanks. You move on with your day. Let's leave that there in case I need a spotter. Okay, so we are back. Let's go ahead and unwind the bind and lengthen that leg. Find a nice side angle. And rotate that shoulder back just a little bit if you like. And from here, this is so many people's favorites. I'm going to bend the knee. Bend the knee. Sorry, Game of Thrones reference right there. I'm going to pivot towards the floor into my runner's pose. Okay, so I'm going to press those hips back, get that nice stretch. 2 blocks here is always awesome. Now, I'm going to take it, it's not your favorite part yet. I'm going to take it back into a plank. I'm going to take both legs back. Whoop. My workspace is falling apart. Okay? See, you get to be one direction. I have to keep moving for this high quality video here. Find your plank. Now rotate to your side plank. I'm on my left arm. I'm going to stack that shoulder above it. You might stay here, or you can float that leg up. Some of you are going to extend that leg and hold. Can you bring this into your pigeon pose? Without breaking your body, find your pigeon pose. Okay, so there's some of your favorite parts. If you're in your pigeon pose, your shoulders are even and your hips are even. If you are super bendy in your hips, you're not going to sit over to one side more than the other. And if there is pain or you just don't get the stretch where you feel like you could, rotate on your back, okay? So I'm not off to one side. I'm not going to sleep here. Nice and even, and then decide, are you a sleepy pigeon? Stay where you are. Allow everything to relax. You are no longer holding yourself up. Notice your breath, nice and relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. Stubborn spots in the back, allow to relax. Is one side of the hip more tense than the other? Allow it to let go. And on your next exhale, bring that awareness all the way through your legs and your toes. We're going to start to take it up. If you have a king or queen pigeon, you're welcome to press through those hands. Come up for some air. Decide if you want to bend at the knee. Belts are great here, or you can stay here. It is up to you. I'm comfortable remaining right here. You do what you need. And safely, we remember there are no trophies. Just honor your body where it is today, not 10 years ago, or 10 weeks from now. Let's go ahead and start to come out of this. I'm going to launch this leg back up and find my downward dog. After you've established that, take a breath, look between the hands, and step, hop, float, or triple front jump to the top of your mat and fold. On a breath in, I'm going to come all the way up. And I'm going to exhale down. Shoulders relax, enjoy the ride down. And exhale. You can incorporate coming up on those toes if you like. And from here, we're going to step back into warrior one on the other side. And without my cueing, take a look at what your feet and your ankles are doing. Can you improve them? Can you support your body anymore? Traveling up through the hips, your chest, and your arms. What are you supposed to be getting out of this pose? Could you get more? When you are ready, bring those arms down, and on another breath, take that back knee, serve it up. Exhale, open it up into warrior two. Adjusting those feet as needed when you get there. Arches lifted. Let's go for it. Breathing in. And exhale back. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And exhale all the air out. Keep going, keep going, keep going unless you're actually going to pass out. And on the third, enjoy the way back. Swim it back. And when you are ready, swim it forward. By now, you will have known what your options are and where you are perfectly fine breathing and getting what you need. Sometimes less is more, and sometimes we do need to challenge ourselves. Decide what your limit is today. Now you are happily where you are. I'm going to turn around, not for the view, nothing to see here, but for those just learning their binds. Half bind would be bending at the elbow, stacking those shoulders. If you are deepening it, does that arm want to come through? Your hands might reach, or you might use a belt in between here. You might be perfectly fine here, or if you are practiced, decide if you have your bird of paradise. And apparently, that leg is cooperating while the other wasn't. So a perfect demonstration of listening to your body and honoring what it is doing today, not expecting everything to be symmetrical all the time, and saying thank you to whatever your body is doing for you. Now when you are ready to stretch out, let's go ahead and come out of the bind. Lengthen that leg, you're not locking out the knee. Use those strong quad muscles. Hand might be on the shin, a block, or other. Reach back a little bit, get more of a stretch through the chest. When you are ready, as I float that hand back down, facing the floor, I'm going to bend the knee, come into my runner's pose. Like this feels fantastic. Nice stretch in that hip flexor here. If you sit a lot, or maybe you were running a lot. When you are ready, you're welcome to take it into your downward dog again. Three-legged downward dog. Now, from here, we're going to take it into our side plank directly from there. Okay, so I found my plank, turn it over, find your strength without falling over like me. You have the option to float that leg up. If your hand wants to hold that foot lengthen, and then turn it into your pigeon pose and melt like butter. You allow yourself to go a little bit deeper into the pose. It doesn't necessarily mean stretch harder. It might mean let go. There's a time for work and a time for rest. And here, you're bringing that heart rate back down. Actively breathing Those belly breaths will help soreness later. You start to think about if you have a king pigeon. And if you want to incorporate that, you're welcome to come back up for some fresh air. I very well might be on the same leg. I hope you're paying attention to what leg you did before. Had a dream that I was doing my king pigeon and connecting my arms back to my toes. No dice. I woke up and yeah, that was totally just a dream. Now from here, we're going to start to come out of wherever you are. And take the knees back. Find your child's pose. Take a nice long breath here. When you're ready to come back up, tabletop to downward dog. And arrange yourself to the top of your mat however you want. Rolling back up when you are ready. Gentle extension. Taking it back. I'm going to sit down into my chair and launch into a tree of whatever species you want to be. Lifting up and out of the hips. Find that length through the core. Head nice and relaxed. And is your trunk nice and strong, or are you relying off of the joints? What are your roots for toes on your mat or on your floor doing? Because if it's super windy, you don't want your tree to fall over. So you have a nice strong tree, and it's nice and serene at the same time. See, mine is falling over today. And balance is affected by changes throughout the month for men and women, hormonally. There are a lot factors in how our bodies are cooperating with us. So don't beat yourself up. Every day is different. You're welcome to do whatever you like with your hands, arms, and or mudras, right? So if you need some more power in your day, lift those arms up with those power poses. You are welcome to stay here and hang out in your tree if you would like. Take that knee, bring it forward. You can rotate it out and you might be perfectly fine here. The other option is to grab that big toe or the foot, extend. Use a belt here if you're not sure, and it's fantastic. Are you sinking in that hip? Lift up and out, lift up and out. You won't be here forever. You can do this. Now I'm going to bend the knee, take the outside of that foot and cross it towards the hip flexor. Some might stay here. You can use a wall at an arm's length if you need. Sink into it if that's comfortable. Woo! See, my balance is nuts today. Not in a good way. Let's go ahead and take it up. Take a moment to dive down and rest. When your head is completely relaxed at the bottom, let's go ahead and take it back up. And gentle extension. Those hands at the base of the lower back if that's more comfortable. We are going to sink it back down into our chair. You guessed it, launch off the other leg. Nice and easy does it. Grow up, grow up, grow up from that seed. Find your tree. Some trees might be here, others here. You can kickstand it. Even these versions, if I'm actively coming up through the trunk for legs and this trunk, this is balance work. This is great. Your toes and your feet are active. Your core is active. Decide what kind of tree you want to be, because no tree was born 400 years old. We all start from seeds. Find your peace. Wobble back into it if you need. might be perfectly happy where you are. Stay there. So, you're welcome to incorporate the challenge if it's for you today. And if you try it and your body says no, you just laugh it off and continue on your way. Starting to bend the knee. Let's take the outside, that ankle by the hip flexor. The other knee is towards the floor. I might sit down into it. Come back up when you're ready. We are going to take it down towards the mat. So I'm going to give myself some space. And you will swan dive your beautiful selves back down. Coming up, I'm going to bring my hands down, step or hop, and lower the knees. Bring yourself into child's pose. If you feel like you can afford more space and stretching between the legs, spread the knees apart. Reach those hands forward and then find the point where you can't stretch anymore, but it feels great, and melt. Start to walk it back up. You're welcome to find your cobbler pose. It looks like a butterfly, or to float through. It is up to you. It doesn't have to be graceful. Now, if you are by a wall, you're welcome to back it up against the wall. Feet are together, knees are out towards the sides. Most importantly, your spine is nice and tall. Never rounding in the back just to try and force those legs down. Okay, so nothing like this. We're going to stretch it out in some seated cat-cow with those cobbler legs. So I'm going to bring the chest through, shoulders back, big breath in, open up in the hips. Exhale, press away. Get that stretch in between the shoulder blades. Let's go twice more. And exhale, press away. One more time. Coming back towards center. You're welcome to stay here, or if you have a fire log, you're welcome to stack one leg, one shin over the other. So I've got ankle over knee and knee over ankle. You are welcome to adjust this. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Some people will be perfectly fine here. Nice stretch in the hip as we sit tall. I'm going to incorporate those eagle wings. I'm going to cross my arms over, one elbow over the other. Now the backs of those hands are facing each other. I'm going to bring them up towards my face. Some of you might have your hands wrapping here. Not all of us can be wrappers, so if your hands don't wrap, it's okay. Use a belt or take the outside of your hand on the outside of that elbow and press in. Once you press in, then flare it up. You'll feel that stretch. We're going to start to take it back down. And bring those hands into those crescent shapes, one per side. We're going to switch the legs as well. So if my left leg was on top, now my right leg is going to be on top. No body part left behind. Same thing with those arms. I'm going to cross the other arm over top now. See what happens on this side. There should be no pain in those shoulders. Adjust as needed. Are you still breathing? When you are ready, start to bring it back down. we're going to take those feet right out in front of us. Again, you can do this up against a wall or try it just to see if your body responds to it better. I'm going to lift all the way up. And my entire back and head and arms are as if there's a wall behind me. Lift up and over as if there's an imaginary pillow. You are bringing your abs up and over and then fold. Now my limit is going to be here today. Others might kiss their toes. No one is giving trophies, so find the point where you can support yourself without compromising the lower back, but get that nice stretch, and you feel it through the legs, and your toes are mostly up towards the ceiling. And actively belly breathe while you're here. On your next breath in, fill those lungs, start to walk it back up. Now, I am in my easy pose. If you have a lotus, you're welcome to do that. Find your peaceful point, okay? You're not forcing anything. Let's go ahead and take one hand up and over towards the traps. Squeeze on a breath in. Belly and chest rise. On an exhale, bring belly back towards the spine. Massage out that area. Go ahead and switch towards the other. Breath in. Squeeze that bundle of fibers. Exhale. Now massage out the area. Now instead of incorporating Shavasana together, I would encourage you, when this video is done, to do that on your own, to take as long as you need, and to incorporate additional stretches. I'm going to take those thumbs to my temples now and massage circles around the scalp, so that you don't have to rush through. You can lay there for 1 minute if you're practicing doing nothing. You can lay there for 15, or maybe this is enough of a come down for you. So every class is different, so honor your body wherever it is today. You might have started to work those thumbs back towards your occipital lobes. You might even incorporate dragging the thumbs up the neck. Take the palms, bring it to the back of the head, gently squeezing, and we're going to move that beautiful noggin around. And we're going to start to take it back up. Palms up towards the ceiling, take one last stretch. Exhale, lower towards the side. When you are ready, those palms come together overhead. Exhale one last time, right down in front of the face. Your shoulders melt. Floating those hands down towards the knees, palms up. Tell yourself, good job today. And go ahead and find your Shavasana after we are done, so that you can properly get the relaxation you need, both physically and mentally. I hope you got something out of today. If you have any requests, please let me know. And as always, have a good day and namaste.